I was quite surprised to see the low rating for Richie Rich's Christmas Wish on IMDb because I quite liked this film. That's not to say it's the best film I've ever seen or I'm going to watch it every Christmas. It's actually the 1st of September, so not quite Christmas yet. But I thought it was quite good fun and visually really fun, really entertaining. It's got 4.0 out of 10 across 2.4 thousand reviews and ratings on IMDb. I'm quite baffled, but I do wonder if a lot of those people who've rated it quite poorly are fans of Richie Rich in general. I should point out I've not seen too much of Richie Rich, so it's not like I had anything particularly to draw upon. I think that's maybe just something worth bearing in mind that while I'm praising it, I've seen a couple of other Richie Rich things, I think most of which I enjoyed, but I'm not, a big Richie Rich fan, so that's maybe worth considering. But this was released in 1998, directed by John Murlowski, and stars David Gallagher as Richie Rich. We also have Eugene Levy as Professor Keanbean, which is such a wonderful name. We also have Keene Curtis as Cadbury, Jake Richardson as Reggie, and I was quite delighted to see Martin Mull as Mr. Rich. Obviously, Martin Mull has been as Mr. Kraft in my life for, well, most of my life, so that was delightful. But even without Martin Mull, I would have really enjoyed it. Richie Rich is making wishes on Christmas Eve because Keanbean has developed this wishing machine, which is basically a washing machine that grants wishes. It's as ludicrous as it sounds, but it's really good fun. And the machine grants the wish when Richie Rich says he wish he'd never been born. I won't say exactly what events lead him to saying this, but he does something that upsets and annoys a lot of people. And the rest of the film plays out with Richie Rich having never been born, but he's alive, and he has to face the fact that his parents are now parents to Reggie Van Doe, and he's a horrible, horrible child. He is evil and full of himself, but very well performed and really interesting to watch. And Richie has to realise that if he wasn't born, this is what life would be like, and it's not exactly great for everybody. And I think it's a nice take on the classic story of what things would be like if you didn't exist. And the narrative I thought progressed really well. It maybe took a direction I didn't care too much for at one point, but I feel like they tried to make it a bit more action packed, and it worked. It worked for the narrative, even if it's not to my personal tastes. As I said, visually it is so entertaining. There are so many gadgets and fun designs, and it's just really creative, and I really enjoyed that aspect of it. Of course, if you're a kid, the richest kid in the world, you're going to have a lot of fun gadgets and gizmos, and it worked really well. The design of the rich house I thought was beautiful. Really, really strong Christmas vibes in some parts. Not so much in others, but it still has a very wintry theme to it. So I really liked it. I have no complaints. As I said, it's not maybe the best film in the world. I probably won't watch it every single Christmas, but I had good fun with it, and there's nothing about it I think didn't work. There's nothing I think should have been done differently. And I genuinely don't understand that low rating. Maybe I'm missing something really obvious, or as I said, maybe a lot of people have higher expectations based on other versions of Richie Rich, which, if that's the case, I completely understand. But for me personally, I had a lot of fun with it. If you're looking for a fun, slightly peculiar Christmas film, then I think Richie Rich's Christmas Wish is definitely one that's worth checking out. I rather enjoyed it.